Doing? It's Dana Hanson, and I have a daily word from Psalm 130. Now, in Psalm 130, it says this: If you, Lord, kept a record of sins, Lord, who could stand? But with you there is forgiveness, so that we can, with reverence, serve you. So, it's important for us to recognize that we sin, and obviously, it's amazing that our sins are forgiven by God. However, sometimes the Bible has a different word for the word sin, like Psalm 32, for example. Then I acknowledged my sin to you and did not cover up my iniquity. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin. So here we have three words: sin, iniquity, and transgression. Now, I'm reading a really helpful book, and it's called Becoming a Face of Grace: Navigating Lasting Relationships with God and Others by Ed Khouri. And in this book, the author talks about the difference between sin, transgression, and iniquity. It goes like this. So sin, the word hamartia in the Greek language, that word means to miss the mark. And it's an archery term. It'd be the term that you don't hit the target or you don't hit the bullseye. And so when we sin, these are the times that we mess up. We don't do what we ought to be doing as we're following in God's ways. That's the word sin. The word transgression is a little stronger than sin. Transgression means that on purpose, I'm doing what I know isn't right according to God's ways. So on purpose, I am choosing to sin, choosing to do what's not right, choosing on purpose to miss the target. Then the strongest word is iniquity. Now, iniquity, another word you could use for that is twisted or deformity. And so iniquity would mean that my sin, or even more likely my transgression, so I'm going to again and again do what I know is wrong. This becomes part of my personality. It becomes embedded in me in a negative way. And it's iniquity is strong following a different path than the ways of God. Now, iniquities can come from repeated willful transgressions again and again and again, or iniquities can come from situations in life where we would say that there are some psychological problems we have later in life or behaviors that are warped in some way because something happened to us when we were younger and so forth. So sin, transgressions, and iniquity. All of this, God knows. You can't hide it from him. And his forgiveness is available. Now, this means that as we come to Jesus and stick with Jesus, he can and he will cleanse us from the effects of our sin. He can work through us that transgression will be less likely and less likely. And he can even take what's at the depth, the shadow side of us, the dark side, where what's at the depth is twisted or warped. He can take that and he can heal us. He will heal us as we open ourselves to the power of forgiveness through Jesus.